So good morning, everyone, from San Francisco. So in this meetup, we are going to look at how to get started with AI productivity tools. So what we are going to look at in this meetup is how best to use AI productivity tools in your day-to-day business work. So we are going to cover a lot of areas in this particular session. We are going to look at in several areas. We are categorizing this into several productivity tools, and we are going to look at how best to use these productivity tools and how best to leverage this in our day-to-day activities. My name is Sutta Bandara. I'm from Blue Chip Tech Inc. And we also have organization in UK as well. So here in this session, we are going to look at AI productivity tools. So in our Meetup channel, regularly you can keep on looking for any up-to-date knowledge sharing sessions. Time to time, we have this knowledge sharing session organized for the meetup. So we have partnered with a lot of organizations and startups to have this knowledge sharing session. So today's session, you can see these are some of the areas that we are discussing. Here we can see categorization of these tools. So nowadays you can see a lot of AI tools are initiated actually with the popularity with ChatGPT. So previous session we discussed about in depth into ChatGPT. So in this session we are not going to more in depth with ChatGPT, but we are going to look at other tools that categorize into these areas. So there are various tools nowadays we can use to make our life easier. So ultimately increase our productivity. So we are going to look at these tools and how we can best leverage using these tools in our organization. So here you can see the categories. So these are some of the categories: content creation, text enhancement, image generation. Then we have note taking, video creation, transcription, creating presentations like a presentation like this, research, and finally automation. Automation is actually a technique that we can actually connect all these things together to build one simplified solution. So we are going to look at all of these areas in today's session, categorized into these areas, these sections. And we are going to introduce tools that you can use to best use for each of these categories, right? So here, remember, the tool I'm sharing is actually not a sponsored tool. So it's just from my point of view based on our research. But of course, each of these categories, you can find a lot of tools that can do these options, right? Nowadays, a lot of startups come up with these tools. We call this as AI startups. So AI startups actually come up with these products that offer these AI capabilities. So nowadays you can find actually thousands of these tools that can support with these capabilities. So you have to always keep up to date what is the best tool to use for your particular scenario or for your particular task, right? So then let's get started. If you have any questions, you can put that in the chat as well, so we can answer that questions, right? So then next slide. So let's get started with the first one, AI app for content creation. So we are going to look at what is the AI apps that we can use for content creation. Of course, the first one is ChatGPT. So content creation is creating new content. So we are going to look at what is the best tool that is out there for content creation. What are the AI writing tools? So ChatGPT will become number one. Then we have Google Bard as well. But this session, we are going to focus other tools as well. So I will first give a brief introduction only with ChatGPT, and then we are going to explore other tools as well. ChatGPT by now, everyone have understanding, everyone have used it. And previous meetup, we have a discussion about ChatGPT. You can check the recording also that is available in the meetup page. So ChatGPT
Excuse me for a second. Excuse me. You mentioned putting questions in the chat, but the chat is disabled. I just want to let you know that.
Okay. I think now it's okay. Can you check?
It's still disabled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's working. Now
Okay.
working.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Okay. So here, one example in ChatGPT explain the header format of IPv6. So this means how we can explain the header format IPv6. So of course, you can say like we can ask a similar question from Google as well. I will share the link. So we have that in our previous Meetup group. I think you have joined from our Meetup group. So you can go to our Meetup page and check. I will also share the link as well for the previous ChatGPT video. So here we are only looking at a brief explanation. We focused on other tools as well. Let me share that video at the end link. So here you can see explain the header format of IPv6. So here you will get the description about that. But what ChatGPT differentiate from that is actually not just giving the information, but also providing explaining things. So here you can see I can explain like I am 5. So if you want to get a simplified explanation on a certain content, right? So if you want to simplify the extent on a certain content, you can use explain like I'm 5. So from that, what you can get is a very simplified explanation. So let me show a quick example. So in this slide, you can see what are wormholes. Explain like I'm 5. So here you can see a wormhole is an advanced scientific topic, but ChatGPT will explain that in a very basic format. If you say explain like I'm 5. So 5 here is the age. Again, you can give any age. It's just a 5 is a number. So based on that, your explanation will be simplified. It's like how we are going to explain a certain thing for a child. Similar that based on a certain knowledge factor. So ChatGPT have trillions of these knowledge factors we can ask, but explain like I'm 5. That means explain keyword with the age will simplify the content. So you will get a very much simplified kind of a explanation on any technical topic. So you may come from different industries like IT or agriculture, supply chain, marketing, like that. Any of these industries, you have the technical terms, technical words. So if you want to get a very simplified explanation, you can use this kind of input. We call this as prompt. So based on this, you can simplify what you are receiving, right? So if you search Google, you will never get that, because in order to get this in Google, there need to be an article written on this. But here, it's not like this, where we can ask in a way that can be simplified from that. So ChatGPT is a general language model that can ask a lot of questions. Latest version that supports internet search as well, where you can refer latest events, latest things that is happening. But previously, it did not support internet-based search, but now it supports the internet-based connectivity and the search as well. Then we can get things like suggestions, get ideas for AI art, decorations, things like that. So here you can ask things like, example, suggest a birthday party theme for 29-year-old. Again, 29 is just the age, so it can be for any age, but you can get the suggestions or ideas. The creative parts that normally take a creative person can now replace with ChatGPT. We can ask a lot of prompts in that. Is there a prompt to provide more complex detail? If it is provide a very basic for initial prompt. Yeah, it's actually based on the prompt that you ask. So there are like advanced prompts that we can come up with. There are different techniques. So actually ChatGPT look at this prompt really in detail. So you cannot just ask anything and expect the result. It's like you ask your friend specific details, but you are not getting that information. So you need to clearly clarify on that. That's called prompt engineering. It's actually different skill set. There are certain websites that provide the guidelines on how to accurately provide the prompt, right? To get the prompt, you need to specify these things. There are say certain various prompts based on the different industries, based on the different information types you need. I can share the links later in that. So there are certain websites that provide these prompts guidelines you need to follow. Again, these guidelines are different from industry to industry that you want to follow. But just from very basic form, you cannot get much out of it. You need to always ask a little bit more details. As well as another suggestion is you can use chain prompt. Chain prompt means you can ask the first question, then ChatGPT will provide the answer. Then from that answer, you can ask the second question. Explain more about the answer like that. So that is called chain prompt. There's no limit on that. So each of the time ChatGPT will generate, and then you can ask a question on that. So that is called chain prompt. So likewise, you can make it more dynamic. You can optimize, you can correct the result. It's like you're asking your colleague to do some work. If it is not satisfied, then you ask for correction. So likewise, you can ask the ChatGPT to recorrect, or reiterate the result on different set of parameters. So that is called chain prompting. We discussed some of these things in our previous meetup. I will share the link. We can also go to our meetup page as well. So I'll share that links at the end of the session. So this session we focus mostly on the AI tools. So ChatGPT we already discussed in our previous meetup. So we are not going in depth with ChatGPT in this session. Just a brief idea. But in our previous meetup, we discussed the ChatGPT in detail. I will share the link afterward. So here I want to highlight the session with other tools because ChatGPT is just the one tool, but there are hundreds of tools like that. So I'm saying to not only just to use ChatGPT, but also use the benefit of other tools that is provided to you, because these tools are more optimized for certain tasks. Where ChatGPT is a generalized language model, it's really good. Of course, there are a lot of benefits, but I'm also showing you other available options that's more suited for specified scenarios. Sometimes some of the things I'm showing ChatGPT is not capable, because still ChatGPT cannot produce videos, still limitation on images, cannot generate PowerPoint, cannot generate load document or something. So likewise, there are limitations. So that's where these other tools comes in handy. So that's why we are discussing in this meetup. So this copy.ai is another tool like that. Website itself is a copy.ai. You can visit the website. So copy.ai is a copywriting supporting tool. It's an AI tool which is providing a smarter way to for organization. Because the organization day-to-day have a lot of copywriting works in terms of sales and marketing, in terms of sales generation, in terms of their business proposals, like that. So here you can see example. So create a brochure, outline the features of benefit HR, then create a testimonial call to action. So likewise, you can specify what you need. So it could be on marketing, sales, like a lot of categories. So let me also show a demonstration of this. So there are a lot of options available in the this tool. You can visit the tool website. Website itself is called copy.ai. So in the copy.ai, so this is a copy.ai. So you can see here in the copy.ai website. So you can just go to copy.ai, create a free account. So in that you can see it is providing a lot of capabilities. So you can go to my projects, and inside the project you can create like a new project like this. So when you create a new project in here, you can see it supports a lot of ideas like brainstorming, long form content, and real-time search, and also it's providing browse prompt. So here you can see for a certain business use case. So any organization that's doing any kind of business, need this area. So here you can see content SEO. So you need to let's say writing an article, blog post, FAQ generator, headline, then email marketing. So here is giving some template for you to get started. Because earlier even the chat question is about how exactly we can write the prompt. So here we don't need to like worry about or remember about the prompt specifically, where this generate us a template for prompt. You just change the particular things within the prompt. Automatically you should be able to get the relevant things. So here in the left side you can see the categories. So it's supporting for email marketing, paid advertisement. So let's say you are doing a Facebook advertisement or Google ad. So here you can see it's show us a suggested from like a template, and yeah, this tool itself can generate that content. So this tool is specialized into these areas where in ChatGPT you have to figure it out the prompt and to figure it out how to ask this. Where in this tool is already optimized. It is already there. So much easily you can use this tool to get the what you need for organization. Then we have another category for PR and communication. We have the recruitment, sales, strategy. So if you are doing a strategy, like strategy section, cost benefit analysis, disrupt innovation, brand ecosystem development. So likewise, a lot of areas are there. You can also visit this site. It is called copy.ai. Yeah, so I'll be sharing the recording of the session. This is already recording at the moment. At the end of the meetup, I'll be sharing the recording. You can check in our Meetup page. So here you can see copy.ai. That is the advantage because ChatGPT is really good, but you need to be a really good prompt engineer or really need to be skilled in the typing of the prompt. But here, let's say you are a beginner, but you need quick result. You are new to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is really good if you know how exactly to type the prompt. And there are thousands of different ways to type the prompt. But here you can see they are giving particular templates, right? Sales. So you can see competitive analysis, recruiting, email marketing, strategy, like that. So then you can see we can enter certain parameters, and then you can see here write a blog post. So like that, I can click this use prompt, and here then it's going to have this like this. So write a blog post about, here I can give the topic, right? And then I can give the yeah. So let's say write a blog post about AI, right? Then make sure to focus on. Then we can create the focus on the AI tools, right? Then it's going to generate us with the prompt like this. So here it's going to create a blog post, right? So you can see it's categorized and create that. So like that, we have a similar like with ChatGPT. Then we have, you can use the copy.ai for mostly for copywriters. You know, copywriting is a certain specialized skill. So yeah, that job can be productive for an organization, because any organization, doesn't matter which industry, they need to do the sales, marketing, PR, recruiting, social media, SEO. There's no any organization that doesn't require any of this. Any industry, we need to do this. So that is what this tool highlighted. You can go to copy.ai, and with the free version also, you can get best out of it, best out of the most of the version. So that's one of the best features in this tool. So likewise, now we have these specialized tools. So that is the main focus on this session, to discuss the specialized tool. And of course, now there are hundreds of these specialized tools for each of these areas. I'm just explain to you like one by one these specialized tools that we can use. So then, yeah, 3 people selecting. I think this. Right. So you can see this copy.ai. You can create an account there, right? Then, right. So what is the best AI tool for coding? This doesn't just generate code rather than help by filling in the repetitive boring parts for a student. Coding one, actually, ChatGPT is a good tool, and there are a few other specialized tools as well, just like copy.ai. I'll share the link at the end. I did put it in the presentation today, but I will share that at the end of the session. There are a few specialized tools for code generation as well. So we are in the first part in the content creation. So I just explained the tools. So first tool I explained is ChatGPT. We discussed the entire session of that. Second tool is copy.ai. I just did a small demonstration also of the copy.ai tool. Website also copy.ai. That's why I did share the website link. You can just go to copy.ai in the browser. You will go into the site. Then Jasper, that is also another similar site for platforms for content creation. So here also you can see you will get blog post related things, Google My Businesses, new post, Pinterest, title. So it is more into more other social media. So when you come to social media, not only the main ones, there are hundreds of other social medias that is getting more popular. And you can see here is categorized into these additional social medias, video platforms, right? Creating engaging questions, right? Like that, Google My Business offer post, like that. So my suggestion is to use these tools as best as possible because most of the free versions also available. Then if you think that is giving most for your organization, you can go for the paid version. So Jasper is also similar tool to copy.ai, but it have also a little bit more into additional social media platforms and little bit optimized into the platforms where copy.ai more optimized into the relevant work related things, right? So likewise, you can see different areas. Then the second category, AI text enhancement apps. So here, the second category is the text enhancement app. So the first one is the content creation, but not only content creation, we need to also make sure content that we created is correct, right? When you are doing a report, when you are doing a research paper, there are certain standards that we have to follow. Then we need to make sure our document is following these standards. Things like spelling mistakes, structural problems. In the research space, we have this standard called IEEE standards. So likewise, we need to make sure that our tools are following these standards. So Grammarly is one of the main tool. I think maybe you're already using it. Grammarly at the moment have the AI capability that can do the prediction of a particular sentence. It can automatically detect throughout any of the writing. So if you download Grammarly for Windows, you will get all these features. There are free version and the paid version. But all your typings, let's say you are replying to an email, let's say you are writing a blog post, when you are writing a document, everything will automatically detect and it will do the correction, right? And also you can do advanced corrections like formatting or advanced formatting techniques you can have. So there are various areas this tool looks at. Initial version is not just make sure that the grammar is correct, but the latest version, current versions, I'm saying that it can do AI detection. So that means it can suggest words, can also predict the patterns. It can identify the typing kind of patterns, things like that. Grammarly is not the only tool. There are other tools available, but this is having a lot of dynamic features, things like a desktop tool where you can sync with all your typings. Anything that you type, it can detect in your environment. Then we have another tool called WordTune. WordTune is a similar competitor product for Grammarly. Again, we have the same formats. So to detect certain kind of mistakes, formatting errors, formatting mistakes. So remember, this tool can even detect when you make a formatting mistake. So when you make a, like let's say numerical numbers or Roman numbers, right? That those kind of mistakes also it can detect. So these tools are now really advanced. So traditionally, I tend to use detect only grammar or spelling mistake, but now those tools can do a lot more than that, right? So make sure to update. So if you are already using the tool, make sure to update to the latest version to get the best out of it. Otherwise, if you have the older version of this tool, you will not get the latest features. So because initially Grammarly was released many years ago, just to detect grammar only. But now it's not just grammar, it can detect the patterns, it can detect the wording styles, we can set a certain for formatting, like that really advanced techniques are there into writing. Even it can detect the writing that generated from ChatGPT or other tool. It can detect mistakes. So what is the best way? So first we use the content essay. You need to get your output from the content creation tool. So let's say we get our output from ChatGPT, then we run it through Grammarly. So of course we know ChatGPT is getting a accurate result, but Grammarly will make sure that formatting, the additional things are correct. Of course, you don't find any grammar mistake or spelling mistake that is generated through ChatGPT. You never find that. But in terms of identifying certain patterns, certain formattings, you will get some kind of warnings that is even resulted from grammar. If there's a way to add vocabulary terms into word queue, like the domain acronyms. Yeah, so there are ways to advance formatting into that. So you can customize. I think you need to go to the paid version, free version, not available with that. But with the paid version, you can do the with advanced customizations, things like the custom formattings and things like that. You can use, but you have to go with paid version, especially Grammarly. So that's why first we need to get the content creation. Second step is we further optimize. So what you get is a perfectly accurate generated content that is also again tested with correction of the formattings. So by default, ChatGPT and other generated tool won't make any grammar or spelling mistakes, but it might have certain formatting mistakes. For sometimes, for example, I have seen like sometimes it generated the content for two paragraphs where Grammarly suggests that can run in one paragraph like that. It is more optimized, right? So Grammarly with now it use AI capabilities, so it can predict the pattern. So whether the particular sentence can be simplified. It can detect that. It's not now only detecting grammar, spelling mistake, but it's go way beyond that. So it can detect whether the pattern match, whether the expected result, do we need to go for two sentences or whether it can be achieved through one sentence. So things like that, it's going to detect. Then next category, AI image apps. So this is for image generation. Image generation is a huge deal nowadays. So where traditionally we have to use things like graphics software like Photoshop, Illustrator like software. But now we can use the image generation softwares. So one is called this one, neural.love. So this tool is a one tool that we can use to generate images. There are again certain prompts needed when you want to generate images. We call this as text to image. So again, you can have input of ChatGPT that can generate the content. Then we can plug in that content into image generation app, and that can generate the image for you, right? Again, there are certain guidelines when it comes to image generation. There are different level of tools are there. There are basic level tools as well as advanced level tools. Because image itself is a different multimedia element. It containing certain things like image parameters, image quality, lens, like that, lens quality, like that. There are a lot of technical information included in the image. But as a beginners who doesn't know anything in terms of image generation, graphic designing, we can use this tool as a stepping stone into generating images. So organization, let's say they want to create a certain files, they want to generate a certain graphics, so they can get these copyright-free versions because these are AI-generated images. These are purely generated through the AI. So here You can see one example I have used here, house painting with paint product. This is the prompt I used to input in this website, natural.love. You can also go to this website. So it is generating 4 sample images. So this is a full prompt. You can see normally, just like ChatGPT, the prompt is little bit more technical when it comes to images. So here you can see 50mm photo, 8K, 4K millimeter, so like that. But nowadays, these tools is simplifying these things. So we have to enter just the description. It will convert this to a full prompt. So we don't need to do that. But again, like a couple of months ago, if you look at some tools, we have to enter something like this. So this is really technical because we have to enter what is the image quality. You need to know about the image quality, whether it's 8K, 4K. You need to know about the millimeter lens image size, the lens size, soft light, like a lot of technical details about the image you have to know. For beginners who are new to images, so graphic designing doesn't know anything about that. So that's why these tools now helps you to make it even more simplified when it comes to image generation. Here you can see the one prompt I did earlier, where I asked this tool to create house painting with a paint product. You can also visit this website and you can see, even though I give a basic prompt, it's generated internally complete prompt because again, these tools needed a complete prompt to generate this. Then it generated this image. So most of the image generation tools are generating around 4 sample images. So you can choose in between from these 4 sample images what is the best tool to use. So you can select from these 4 sample images what is the best image to select from them. So that is another advantage we have in this image generation tool. All of the tools are providing around 4 example images for us to use. Another tool is Canva. So Canva, again, I think everyone might be familiar, which is a tool for a lot of graphic designers and a lot of designers to create content from certain specific designs. But I'm not talking about the main Canva tool. I'm talking about the AI capability that they have added to the Canva tool. So that is called Canva AI. So you need to go to a Canva AI component or the Canva AI feature within the Canva website. So I'm not talking about the Canva main website. In the Canva main website, it's just you just design how to manually do that design. But I'm talking about they have recently added this new feature. So this new feature is called Canva AI image generator. So if you're already familiar with Canva, this is much more easier for you. But again, you can easily go to the Canva AI image generator and then you can search, you can type a certain description and it also shows a certain kind of patterns for us. So in the next slide, I will show that. So here you can see, I just asked to create a house painting. So here I asked to create a house painting. So based on that, it's created this kind of a house painting. So it created 4 images from this, right? So like that, you can see I can go to Canva AI image generator, and then I can select from that, and then you can clearly set up all this from there. So let me also show that website. So you can go to the Canva AI image generator, right? AI image generator. You can visit the website, which is Canva. So in that website, you can see we can generate AI images. So here you can see some samples, image generation, panda riding a bike through the city with depth field. So like that, you can see certain kind of generations that we can have. So you can just go to this URL. I will share this link in the chat as well. Take a look at it. So everyone can go to this website. It's very simple. That's why I choosing these basic web sites that everyone can get started much easily. But of course, there are advanced tools there for image generation. But the challenge in that is actually you have to input all advanced information in terms of image to generate that. So if you are, yeah, we can give prompt to generate it, correct. So here I'm showing a demonstration as well. So you can go to the link as well. So here you can see they have a certain in the image generation. There are a lot of things. You have certain templates also get start with. Then you have certain styles, text section. So here you can go to the still the general one. Go to this. So you need to first log in using your Gmail or that's okay. Then you can click generate AI images, and then in that you can start generating where you can enter a certain prompt, right? You can enter a certain prompt into your design. Then it will generate based on the prompt. So nowadays, this prompt actually helps you to go you with the very basic ones, right? So here you can see that one, image generation, and they have now included video generation as well. So here you can see, try an example, a rocket launching at sunset, right? Then I can select whether I need it to be a watercolor, filmic, photo. So let me try all. So first I will select photo, this one, photo. Then you can see it's going to generate. Here you can see the left. It's a little bit longer process than ChatGPT. Where ChatGPT you can see the result by now, but image generation take a little bit more time for it to generate because what it generated is a unique one that is not available in the internet. So this is fully copyrighted. You don't need to worry about the copyright because this is a AI generated image, right? This is not actually a photo taken by the, launching a rocket. This is actually an AI generated image based on the previous image. And this tool again gives you 4 options. So most of the image generation AI tools are giving you 4 options. That is one of the advantage you have in this AI generation. It's giving up to 4 images. Let me show another example. So here I can give another kind of a style. Say I want it to be dreamy, right? Rocket launch with sunset. Then I will create again. So likewise, these tools actually have different themes as well, where you can do. So you can see it need to be simplified as well. So nowadays these tools actually are very much simplified. You don't need to give a really advanced kind of advanced things. It could be very basic things that you can provide when you are generating these things. So you can also give it a try on this and see how well it's going to generate these images. So just give it a try. And then you can see how
We're not hearing any sound from you right now.
I thought it was me. That's my internet connection had gone.
I can't hear him.
No, I think he's obviously lost his connection rather than us. Now, what's everyone think of the tools so far? Have you all seen them before? Are they new?
Potential is enormous, I think.
Mm. Yeah, I'm more familiar with ChatGPT. I'm sort of I'm doing some basically I'm training an extra piece to plug into it. So a bit of basically the fine tuning piece at the moment. But so much more you can do in this world, isn't there?
Definitely.
I think he's coming back.
Right. So you have seen that how we can use best these tools. So the second tool I showed you is the Canva. So Canva tool, Canva AI generation, also a really good tool that we can use to generate these images. First one I suggest is the natural.love. So again, I will share the recording of the session as well. So you can check it out later as well. So here, second one is the Canva AI image generator. Here also you can give just basic terms, what kind of image you need, and then you will get that image generated. Then we'll go into next category, AI apps for decision making. So Tabula is one kind of a tool. It's again provide a little bit of skill you need in this tool. But a process called business intelligence where the organization can make decisions based on the data. So this tool helps you to understand the organizational data and provide you intelligent analytics on that. So here you can see, you can just drop a Excel file, right? Let's say you have a marketing data, say Excel, or you have your sales records on Excel. So you can just add that to this tool, and then it helps to analyze the tool, analyze the data, and provide the intelligent decisions, intelligent suggestions on the data for you, right? Traditionally, you have to use things like BI tools like Power BI, or you have to write code using Python and like that. But here it's not like that. You can just drag and drop your Excel file or any other data set, and then you can go through the drag and drop process, and then you can get the result within a couple of minutes or maybe less than that. So here you can see one snapshot on that. So here you can see once you set up the data, you can get a charts about customer visualizations, data that is about some analytics data about your Excel. So you can just add your Excel and you can get intelligent analytics. This is the tool Tabula. It's again a cloud tool. That means you can go to their website, create a free account, just like I showed you, drop in an Excel file, and you will get the analytics on the data set, right? You don't need to know any coding language. You don't need to know about business intelligence, but you can get intelligence data, decisions in terms of visualizations, charts, report. You can also generate as a PDF, all these things available within this tool. So this is a tool for decision making to make the decision making process much faster, right? The tool is called Tabula. Since time is limited, I will not make a demonstration on this, but you can go to the site and take a look at this. So here you can see we can do additional things like cleaning up the data, processing the data, formatting the data, and all the things are drag and drop. So you don't need to know any coding languages, you don't need to know about programming, you don't need to know about any technical knowledge to this. The link is Tabula. I think I can share all the links at the end of the session. So just search Tabula. I will share. So in the presentation also I have the link. Let me share the link. So need to it's called Tabula AI tool. So which is better. I think I will share all the links at the end, and I share that meetup as well, because we are going to look at tools. Yeah, so that's why the new tools that coming out actually make, because ultimate idea, even session title today is productivity. So improving productivity is less coding at the moment and less kind of work. We are with a short amount of time doing more work. So here you can see raw data to business insights with no code, right? So we are in the website, it will show more site like this. You just upload your Excel, then you get all the insights of your data. So you don't need to do like coding or any scripting or any programming. So anyone can do it because it's just drag and drop environment. So getting a basic charts and everything more straightforward in that. And again, remember, this is just a one tool. There are again a few other tools like that that can do this task. But nowadays we have this option. So when we are having this option, better to use that to increase our productivity, right? Because ultimate idea is the organization, it's productivity to make the processes using the organization much more smoother, right? We are also applying this to many organizations at the moment to improve their bottom line, to increase the productivity and make the each of the process much more fast. So using this tool, where we can achieve a lot of things much more shorter amount of time. Next, we go to AI for note taking. So AI for note taking is another kind of a unique area. So imagine like we are having this Zoom meeting, right? So you need to get a summary of the Zoom meeting, what we discussed. So you ask what are the key discussion points, right? Then you need to have a summary, and also you need to have a copy of the transcript, each of the things I discussed, and then conversation. So let's say you have a meeting in your organization. You know, every day you have a lot of meetings. Then each of the meeting, there's a certain action points. So you need to take a note of that. Traditionally, we write in a piece of paper or notepad or things like that. But now we have these AI tools that can automatically keep track of these for us. So that is this AI apps for note taking. One app is this. So where helps with this note taking process, MEM. So it can fetch, again, keep track with your email, keep track with your calendar, keep track with your contact, meeting conversation. So everything can be synced, everything can be optimized with this tool, right? Yeah, that's right. No need to use piece of paper anymore. You can use these note-taking tools to automate, because another advantage of this is this keep you reminders. This can sync with your automated thing. So normally, if you took that in a piece of paper, there's no reminder anymore, right? They say we have to complete this in next Monday, but there's no reminder. So it's just in the piece of paper, we have to manually open the book and check it. Even let's say if you save it in in a notepad like that, it's like that. But here it's different, where it can include reminders. Where in a phone you'll get a alarm. Maybe you can configure like that. You'll get the alarm before 2 days. There's a deadline in phone. In 2 days time, you have to complete that. So likewise, every tools now can be synced and can be automated to make the life faster and efficient. Because if you, let's say, forget a certain task, or if you forget a certain thing, then you miss the deadline, right? Maybe by missing a piece of paper, or just not keep up to date with that. Because note taking is one thing, but on the same time, it need to be keep up to date, where I need to follow up on that. So there are a lot of tools now can do this. This can be integrated into one single experience. That's the main idea, right? So that's why here you can see you will never lose the track of the meeting, conversation, and insights. So everything that we discuss, so that we have action points that we can keep track, and it can keep remind you about that until you are completing. Then AI video creation platform. So similar to Canva, there are platforms that can generate videos. So you have seen maybe the web, some projects on fake videos and things like that. But traditionally, video creation is a really big process. It takes a lot of time and effort. But even if you are an experienced video editor, let's say it takes a few hours to create a video, at least a minimum video. But let's say organization want to create a product video, organization want to create a introduction about their product or service or certain information. So they can use this platform without they not need to consult any professional video creation company. They can use this platform. So one platform is this one, Flicky. So that include the AI narrator as well. So this include AI voiceover. So you can write a script. Script can be generated from ChatGPT for advertisement about your product. So then that script can be put to here. Then AI narrator will speak, and not only in English. Let's say you need the transcript in Asian languages. You need the transcript in Spanish, Latin, or any languages. Not all the languages in the world at the moment, but all main languages. This is provided. Then on top of that, you can get the video generated based on the description. So again, in this also, you have to give a description, what kind of information you need, what are the things you need, like that. But remember, these tools are a little bit still at the very early stage, the cycle. So this might not get super advanced like images that you have seen. These are really still in the earlier stage, I would say. It will take a little bit more time to get this into much more advanced stage. But still, you can generate a product video, a quick YouTube video about a certain thing. So traditionally, what's the process? You have to consult an advertising agency to create a video that is thousands of dollars you have to pay just to get a couple of second video. But in these tools, you get a free version. Even if you pay, it's $5 to $10 per month that you have to pay to get this. So that is the brilliance of this. So again, here I have put just a description, and then based on the description here, it's just created the video with the narration and everything. So likewise, here you can see we can put some descriptions, and then based on that, we can get the narration like that, right? Yeah, so there are many tools that we can use to generate. So I'm just showing one or two examples, but to get you get understanding about the availability of this tool, and then increase the productivity. Let's say you have to do a product video for your organization about the new feature. So traditionally, because of the current inflations and things going on, we cannot consult a advertising agency that's cost you thousands of dollars. But we can use this kind of tools. That's even we can use the free version to generate videos. Might have a little bit limitations, but even paid versions are just few dollars, less than anyway $10 to $20 per month. So that helps you to do these quick videos. Otherwise, not possible because if you consult even just the individual, let's say a freelancer for do that, still you cannot do that in $5 to $10. You cannot generate a video for your requirement normally. A couple of second video also cost more than that. But here, this is generated by AI, not by a real person, right? That's another beauty of this. So these platforms actually provide you a model and a capability, but this video actually generated by AI based on the description you put, based on the context you put. Right. Then this is another quick feature in that called Cynthia. So here you can see you can generate avatars. So here you can see you have several avatars that you can get, right? Yeah, most of the tools I'm showing actually having free version. So most of the demos and screenshots I also captured just using the free version. I did not pay anything. So most of the I recommend you to use the free version. So not asking like subscribe anything like for each of the tool. But if you find it's more productive, only you can go for that. But most of the tool I'm showing here actually available with the free version, and some of the screenshots I included just using the demonstration I did earlier. So that again using the free version, right? So you can do a lot of things just using free version. I'm also not recommending to like purchase all the tools I'm showing because it's not a sponsored section about any of the tools here. It's just for my and our company research. So I'm recommending to use the free version, and all the tools are actually providing a very much decent free version that you can easily use. Then only you can go to the paid version, right? Because there are some tools that not allowing you to do a free version, but all the tools I'm showing you are having a decent free version that you can do some of the things on your own and you can use it, right? Right. So here you can see you can get the actor like this, and you can talk about your product or service or whatever like you need for sales pitch or marketing related things based on this AI character. So this is actually AI character initially based on a real person, but it will now generated on AI person, right? So here you can see in this you can use the this go to this website. Of course I will share the links later. There are a lot of tools I'm covering today. So in here you will get the voiceover and also the video generated from this person, right? So here you can see normally if you want to do this in other way, you have to get a modeling agency, you need to get a certain model, and then that person need to read through and maybe need to record in a live environment with the studio environment. So that is again costing you thousands of dollars. But here it's not like that. This is generated by AI, say AI avatars that is talking about your product or service that can be freely used in your product. And most of the tools I'm showing actually providing a free option, so you can easily use it in this. Yeah, I'll be sharing all the links in the Meetup as well. So Meetup page, you can check in that. Yeah, some of the links I'm not sharing here. So I'll share all the links here. Then AI transcription apps. So this transcription app actually again a part of the conversation that we have, right? So that means like we can like the meetings. So let's say we are having Zoom meeting. This is a Zoom meeting. So then we have Teams meeting, Google Meet, and these are the most popular meeting tools. And other than that, we can have other kind of WebEx kind of meetings. So whatever the meeting tool, we can use this transcription apps. So what it does is it will copy, it will capture all the words. So it will capture all my words, word to word, and it share you after the meeting. And also, if you need a summary only, it will give a summary. If you need action points on it will show the action point. So you don't need to take a note. You can directly copy that. So nowadays we have a lot of online meetings. So here you can see one tool for Otter. So here you can see keep track of your entire discussion. What are the key takeaways? So here you can see keep track of your takeaways and then a summary. And then after the meeting, it will email you a copy of a summary. So this is again having a free version where you can use it like that. Then it can do the integration. Yeah, so there's again feedback, good feedback about the Otter as well from the participants. So likewise, you can see there are a lot of benefits of using this tool because day to day we are having a lot of meetings. So then we tend to forget what are the action points of the meeting. Sometimes we manually note down in a notepad or a piece of paper. Still, that's not giving you a kind of a suggestion. So action points to do afterward. So these kind of note-taking tools are really helpful for you to do that. Again, these are having free version. Then if you really need the full features, you can go to paid version, but that's one of the best way to use this. Then we have AI presentation apps. What is AI presentation? Let's say this presentation. So this presentation, let's say if you are, there's a question, there's a participants ask about the EdTech, education related AI tools. So this is could be a one. Why? Because for education side, knowledge sharing, we need presentation, especially PowerPoint presentation. Tools in this category helps you to generate a PowerPoint presentation, right? So you don't need to manually create a PowerPoint presentation. Just using these tools, AI tools, you can generate a presentation again based on the description. So ChatGPT could be your input. You can copy the description from ChatGPT. Then this tool will generate the content for you, presentation. And it's not just the presentation, it can design and it actually output you a PowerPoint presentation, right? And remember, these tools are still at the early stage, especially video and PowerPoint. So still a little bit more editing you have to do a little bit afterward. But with coming months, this will be, yeah, so some of the things I actually use the tool to generate as well. So likewise, that's why AI can generate itself. So this VPIC tool helps you to generate a PowerPoint presentation. As I mentioned, generating a PowerPoint presentation with AI involve a lot of data points. Yeah, I'll be sharing everything like Meetup recording and links in the Meetup page. So you can check the recording as well as the slides as well. So just keep up to date on the Meetup page. I'll share the link as well. I think if everyone joins from the Meetup page, I will share the recording and presentation. So VPIC is a tool that helps you to create PowerPoint presentation. These tools are a little bit early stage, so you might not get entire 100% answer the presentation you need, but you will get around 60% of your presentation correct. So a little bit of modifying, editing you might need to do, but if you get most of the content sorted out, then adding a little bit won't take that much of a time. But with time, these tools will be much more improved. I would suggest like maybe in a 1 year time where it can generate 100% accurate presentation while you don't need to do anything. But at the moment, you will get like 60% of the accuracy, the information you need in the presentation. But others are not gibberish. It's just the same thing content. But because every time a presenter educator need a certain content in their mind, if they didn't mention that in the description, or sometimes it's not going to add it into the presentation. So this kind of tool helps in the education industry, where for lecturers, teachers to create presentations and use it in their day-to-day work. Right. So then this is how it looks like. So you can see this tool I have used earlier in a small description. So based on that, you can see it's not just the content. You can see generate the styles, right? It generate the themes. It generates some content like images and when you come to presentation, there are a lot of points, right? You need to have images, you need to have fonts, you need to have styles. Like everyone who in the education industry, edtech industry, what are the things relevant in the presentation content? There are a lot of content involved actually creating a presentation. So this tool is helpful of creating that. You can see it generates like this. So we can define how many slides you will need. Then you can provide the description and then it will generate for you a presentation. But still these tools are a little bit early stage. So you don't get the 100% of the everything you need in the presentation, but you'll get around 60% of the thing. So later a little bit small modifications you have to do. But it's better than creating everything from scratch, because without this tool, what's the other option? We copy from ChatGPT and we create the presentation, right? So now forget all that. Where we can use this kind of tools to generate the entire presentation, right? So with the time, this will be much more improved. So let's say you want to do a presentation about the advanced research topic or advanced theory or mathematical calculation. So that kind of content generation might not be that much accurate, because these tools are in terms of creating content like text content, not advanced like ChatGPT. So that's why, but this tool is good in creating, styles, animation, things like that. So that's where you have to pitch in some percentage of content creation into that. But over the time, I think video generation and PowerPoint will also get into that phase. But still, to create a video and create a presentation, there are a lot of data points involved. There's the information point and then the image style. All these things need to be included. That's even the presentation I'm showing to you that have all these things, right? Information factor, screenshots need to be relevant, and then the topics and the title formatting, all these things. Then AI research apps. So now we are in the final part of the today's session. AI research app. So this one helps you to do researching. So this researching helps you to do a little bit more advanced researching, because traditionally, researching involve looking at a lot of research papers, a lot of articles, things like that. So Google have Google Scholar that provides some context into that. But again, there are limitations of the content that you want to do a research, right? Yeah. So this one is called site. So here you can see Ashwa from the research industry. You know what is citation. So this provide 1.2 billion citations, extraction and analyze into 100 million articles, book chapters per print and data set. So imagine like most of the research in the world are indexed into this AI tool, and where you can find it, right? So here is 100% optimized into research. If you are doing a research, if you want to find a certain citation or article about a certain research, could be any area, so IT or AI research is any research. But again, I don't think entire world research still this tool, but it's limited by 1.2 billion citations in this tool. So where you can use this tool to search and find that. So it's really helpful. Otherwise, we have to find a lot of research papers. Traditionally, we need to go to libraries. We need to consult academia to find that. So there are a lot of manual work involved finding the correct research, correct part of the research. But now you can use tool like this to optimize. So this is how it looks like. You can see a screenshot. You can ask a question, how does structure of the protein affect this function? Then you can see it's going to extract that. So ChatGPT cannot do this because ChatGPT is not analyzing research papers. It's just analyzing through the knowledge base. Some research might include it, but this is 100% focused to a research paper site. So here they have indexed it into the research paper site. So here you can see it's giving a reference also. Reference we can download separately, and then we can ask that, we can get it, right? Again, of course, tool like this have limited free version. You can imagine why they have put a lot of effort to index 1.2 billion citations into one tool. Even ChatGPT, if you search this, you don't get a reference from a research article. So here you can see you will get 1.5, all these are linked to directly a research paper, right? So you can directly point that and get it the research paper. So anyone in the academia or industry looking for research papers, so for you to find a research base, you can use this tool, right? This is the one tool that's really good with that. That's why we are recommending this tool. In these kind of categories, you will find only less amount of tool. It's not like image generation, video generation, where you have a lot of option, but when it comes to areas like this, tools are getting very limited because these are a lot of niche areas that we have. So that's why another comment category from AI-based product design tools like that. So there are a lot of these niche areas are there now. Tools are being created that is really helpful to overall to do the work. So traditionally we have to use Google or manual research to do that, but now we can use tool like this to increase our productivity. Then AI automation software. This is the final category. So where AI automation software is actually is kind of like the all of the above. That means all of the above thing, even we can automate. That means, let's say the output you get from ChatGPT, you need to process that, and then you need to send that as an email. So likewise, let's say you get the email, then that email you need to generate a reply through ChatGPT. So traditionally, what we do is we copy the email, ChatGPT inbox, ChatGPT prompt, and we ask the result, and then we copy back. But using AI automation, we don't have to do that. AI automation tool will do that automatically for you. So that is AI automation. So AI automation is increasing productivity even more, where it can do the repetitive tasks without our involvement, right? Because all of the tool I showed, we have to click, we have to go to the site, right? We have to click, we have to type, right? But AI automation is without doing any of that, it will do it for us. right? We can, let's say I want to get the content. If, let's say you are social media marketer, every day 9 in the morning you have to post a social media post to the LinkedIn. What is the, let's say you are using all of the above AI tools, you have to go to ChatGPT, ask the post, maybe you go to Canva, ask the image, copy those two together, post the LinkedIn. That is still there are some manual things. But with AI automation, that part also you can automate. So you don't need to do anything. Once you automate it, every time morning 9, this tool will go to ChatGPT, get the content, go to other tool, get the image, put it together, post it in the LinkedIn. So that is AI automation for you. So then you don't need to involve anything. You just wait and see. It will do it for you, right? So in the industry at the moment, there's a software called Zapier. That is one of the main popular software where it helps you to automate the tools. And it have we are recommending this tool because it have more than 5,000 integrations. So it can integrate with Office environment, 365 environment, Google environment, all the environment. So any Gmail you are getting, you can automate it. You can write a custom email. Let's say you are getting a sales lead from sales CRM platform. Then based on that, you can send a custom email. So likewise, you can automate these things without manual interaction. So that is again improving the productivity even more, because all of each tool, of course, is increasing the productivity, but always we have to go to the site, you have to copy, we type all these things, and you have to copy and get that. But with this tool, we don't have to do that as well. It will automatically do it for us. Again, of course, all these things might not be free. Of course, you have to go paid version, but the AI automation idea is to automate without doing manually repetitive works. So you can put that time to any other work. So that's why I example showed the use case on LinkedIn posting. So this tool can go to ChatGPT, ask for a new LinkedIn post, and then maybe it can go to a image generation one, copy the image, then it can submit on that on the LinkedIn. Of course, we have to give the permission on all of this. Once you give the permission, this can get the permission, and then it can do the task automatically without our interaction. We can schedule it every day, every month, once a week, even once an hour, once a minute, up to you, right? So here you can see this is how we need to configure it. Again, you don't need to know any programming language to use this tool. Everything is drag and drop. A little bit of skill needed to use this thing, but it doesn't involve any programming language. Everything drag and drop. So here you can see one example. New attachment in Gmail. Only continue if, then we can give a condition, and then based on that it will upload to Google Drive. So traditionally this could be manual process where we have to download the file and manually upload to Google Drive, but this will be now automated via Zapier. So likewise, there are a few other automation platforms. We have UiPath and a few other platforms, but this tool is kind of beginner friendly and have a lot of integration. It's kind of the market leader for smaller, medium scale organizations. But if you are more advanced user, there are other automation tools that can do, like you can run an agent, it can do a lot of works, like can go to websites to register the users, all these things. There are now automation tools are there, can act on behalf of a person, and it can run 24 hours without human interaction. So we call this as AI agents, where we can run. But this is very much in a basic level on that, where I can automate connecting on these tools mostly, right? So AI assistant is actually like there are again different level on that. What kind of support you need in terms of information or in terms of doing some tasks like that. So there are certain tools that provide that capability, but still we didn't achieve this generalized AI, right? Still the AI landscape didn't achieve generalized AI. There are still some boundaries, right? Generalized AI means there's a one tool that you can do all these things, right? Still, we didn't achieve that. You cannot find any tool in the world that can do all these things. So even let's say use assistant or any capability, you are limited by the scope that tools provide. So that's still a long way to go in terms of generalized AI. Thanks for sharing the links. Right. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. Thank you for sharing the links. So that's like still a long way to go in terms of generalized AI. But of course, because of this AI innovation, it's not going to be that far away on that day. But nowadays, also just using these tools, you have seen how much potential that we have. And again, each of the category, this is not the only tool. There are more tools there. I'm just showing you based on our research and based on the way to start. So we look at two parts in terms of selecting these tools. One is how easy to get started. So each of the tools are much easier to get started. Second thing we look at is pricing point. All of these tools have free version, a decent free version that you can test and work on certain things. Even Zapier have monthly 100 tasks where you can automate 1 or 2 tasks per month without any payments. So each of the tools have that capabilities as. So here you can see when you go to the site like this, some of the suggestions here. You can see some of the capabilities that we have. Again, here you have more than 5,000 integration. That's why we recommended this. There are a lot of options available when you go to this. A lot of capabilities are there. When you go to this, we are planning to have a separate session on Zapier as well. We are focusing on Zapier where we can show how to use this and how to set up this. And also, if you have any suggestions on what kind of topics needed for upcoming sessions, you can let us know as well. Yeah, so Zapier can be used for automating YouTube and also CRM platform. So let's say your subscribers or your person who are getting the YouTube, then you can retrieve that data into a certain CRM platform like HubSpot, and then you can send a particular email, customized email on top of that. So there are a lot of customizations on that where you can use. Then the final tool is called AI legal software. Legal side is really like different terminology and different area for a lot of organization. But a lot of organization and individuals need to figure this out in terms of their day-to-day activities or into for certain legal terms. So this is AI tool which is called case test, which is provide you with the AI legal assistant for practitioners. So we provide litigators, transaction attorneys, and solo and small firms we can use. So what is the best part of this tool is you can ask in the simple format. At the moment, this is working on with the US. All the US federal and local constitutions, US courts, you can use criminal, bankruptcy, like civil procedures you can use. So you can just ask in a simple format like you asking a lawyer, and you will get the suggestions, you will get the recommendations, everything from this tool. So you don't need to consult initially a lawyer to get the initial understanding, initial suggestions where you have to pay amount of money for a legal firm. But of course, at the moment, still this cannot fight a lawsuit. But until that point, you can be ready and you can get a particular understanding about the law, about the regulation, and you can just start filing. So actual filing, of course, can do still, but up to that level, you will get in this AI tool. At the moment, this is only in the US regulations. So UK one, they are launching, but still not. So it's only US post federal and the state level, and most of the regulations are there. So you can, everyone joining from US, you can check this site and you can see what are the capabilities this is providing. So where it's really helpful. Traditionally, you have to consult a law firm. Again, it will be thousands of dollars for you to do that. But here will be only the initial stage because AI tool cannot actually fight the real lawsuit. But still the initial stage of getting the understanding, getting the information, and know which path to go. Things like that. Where still you have to pay a couple of amount of money for a law firm or lawyer to do that. Where this tool provided good understanding. Okay, so that concludes our session for today, around 1.5 hours. We have spent looking at AI tools. So it's a lot of content. We have wrapped around 1.5 hours. So I think it will be really productive for you. And you can get all the links. Thank you, Jeff, for sharing this as well. And we'll be sharing Meetup recording via the YouTube channel. You can copy all the links Jeff have shared all as well. Thank you for that. We have discussed a lot of tools, as well as we have did research in terms of easiness to use the tool, as well as easiness to get started without doing any payment. I mean, you're selecting the tool, but of course there are a lot of other metrics, a lot of other tools like this also available in the marketplace as well. So I would thank you everyone for joining and taking up your time to listen to us and going through the session. And looking forward to seeing you again. So on behalf of joining San Francisco AI Technology Meetup and London AI Technology Meetup, thank you everyone for joining and have a wonderful day. And looking forward to seeing you again in another meetup session like this. Thank you.
Thanks all.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much. It was brilliant.
Thank you.